name is Diana Fegley, and today I will be giving you a little insight on pediatric cancer and what they do for the children and their families. So, when I was in high school, I did a mini-thon, and what my school did was we raised money for kids who had pediatric cancer. So, the organization that we worked with was the Four Diamonds Fund, and the Four Diamonds Fund has been in creation since 1772, and they have helped more than 3,300 children and families with medical bills and making sure that they are taken care of. So the way Four Diamonds came about was two parents, Charles and Irma. Their son Christopher ended up having pediatric cancer. So they came up with this organization to help other children and families in need. And today, Four Diamonds continues to encourage and support families and the children and help them in any way that they can. So during my mini-thon for the past 4 years when I was in high school, we had family hours. So we danced for 10 hours straight without sitting, and each hour was dedicated to a different child and their family. And so, for example, I have a friend named Mia Carell who was diagnosed with pediatric cancer when she was in first grade. And so I asked her to come speak to Villa, and so she spoke in front of my entire grade and my entire school, and she told her story and how her mom and her dad and her sister, they all went to Texas and they had a bunch of tests done for Mia, and she was out of school for a pretty long time, and the treatment that she got caused her to lose all her hair. So when she came back in the first grade, her mom made a bunch of these bandanas that she would wear because she didn't have hair. So when she came back to school in first grade, she walked into the classroom and all the kids were wearing bandanas to show Mia her support. So she came and spoke to Villa for the past 4 years, and I stood there next to her and listened to her story. Another reason we had Family Hour is so that we could dedicate it to the kids who may have not lost their battle, and we invited their families to tell their story, to keep their child's memory alive, and even though the child might have lost their battle with cancer, this hour, it might have made the families feel like their spirit was still there and maybe stronger than usual. And then my personal experience with the Four Diamonds and FTK was that I became very passionate about it my junior and senior year in high school. So my freshman and sophomore year, while I was still pretty passionate about it, I didn't raise as much money. But my junior year, I knew, I saw how it impacted us the first 2 years, and I knew that I wanted to make a difference in myself and for the kids. So what I did was, my junior year, I posted a little paragraph with a picture, and I asked my dad for some help because he knows a lot more people, and so it would get out to more people to help me donate. And so by the end of, we have from September to December to donate, to raise money. And so by December of my junior year, I raised over $1,300 for the kids, and that was just me alone. And that was really, really great for me, just because it felt like I was making more of an impact. And I ended up getting put on this special, this wall of important people, kind of. I don't remember what they called it, but it was a superstar award because you raised over $1,000. So that made me feel good because it made me feel like I made a really good impact and helped kids or families with their medical bills or etc. And then my junior year, we raised over $8,000 and $9,000. And Villa is a very small Catholic high school with only about a little over 400 girls maybe. So for us to raise that amount of money is very impressive. So my senior year was actually the last year, not only that I did it, but that Villa did it because they had to stop doing it for certain reasons. And so my class and myself, we wanted to make sure that we went out and with a bang, pretty much, and made sure that we raised an amount of money that has never been done before. So again, my senior year, I had a little help with my dad and spread the word on Facebook and everything, because by the time I was a junior, it was all done online, the donating and everything. And so from September to December again, I donated, and my goal was originally $2,000, and unfortunately I didn't meet that goal that year. I raised over $1,500, which is still an amazing amount of money. I just didn't exceed what I wanted to, which is totally fine. And I also cut my hair. So my hair was about down to my butt, and then I cut 8 inches off, and I was like here, and I donated it for kids with pediatric cancer who may have to wear wigs, and that was made a really big impact just because I wanted to do that since my freshman year, but I had highlights, so I had to let them grow out, and I had to let it grow out and then cut it, and I couldn't let the highlights be in it. So that's my but thank you for listening, and I hope you learned more about pediatric cancer and how it affected children and their families.